Welcome to Soul Wisdom Tarot. My name's Amber, and I want to I have a channeled message, and this message came in as after summer solstice energy. So, yesterday was June 20th, and we in the northern hemisphere, we experienced the summer solstice. So, I just want to tap into that energy. For those that don't know, mm, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year. It is officially the beginning of summer. The sun is at its peak. What else about the summer solstice? It's a time for illumination. It's a time for your light to shine on any and everything that's ready to grow. So any seeds that have been planted, this is a great time to really start to shine your light, your remembrance, your understanding of who you are on anything that you've planted. So, as I was shuffling this African goddess deck, I have a card that fell out. The first one is Mami Wata, which is naked. So, we're definitely going to get more clarity on that, but just off rip, I'm already feeling somebody feels very exposed right now. Exposed in the way of like, oh wow, someone felt during the solar, I keep saying solar. We have been experiencing a lot of solar flares lately, but someone during the summer solstice felt this energy of being cracked wide open. And I'm going to read this channel message here in a little bit, and it talks about being cracked open. And when you were cracked open, it was like your entire vessel melted, and you recognize all of what you are. You realize that, like, oh, we're not on a planet, right? This is a soul experience that you're having, that we're having together. All right. So the number 30 could be significant to you. 30 years old. You could be the 30th day in the month for your birthday. Maybe you're waiting for some type of confirmation, something to um reveal itself to you on the 30th. Maybe the 30th of June is going to be a significant day for you. And then we have Tanit, which is pleasure, the number 11. And I just saw 333 on the clock, so that could be really significant as well. 333 it's like a supercharged master number, right? It's creation, guidance. All right. So here on the channel, Soul Wisdom Tarot, my intention here is to assist you in activating your inner knowing, strengthening, conditioning your inner knowing, building up spiritual resilience, resolve, understanding yourself on the spirit realm, understanding that you can walk between realms. You can walk between the seen and the unseen. I'm here to activate what you already know about yourself. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this channel message that I received. So, what I have here is something cracked open during the solstice for you. Maybe you didn't notice in the moment, but now there is a hum that's beneath your skin, a deeper knowing you can't unknow, a truth that no longer lets you sleep through your own life. This is not confusion, is what I heard. It's clarity, disrupting old comforts, old systems, old paradigms, old ways of being, old agreements. You are shedding timelines. grieving illusions, right? You're grieving what you were taught. You're grieving what you thought this life was, and now you're understanding what it is. You can't unsee what you've seen. Let's see, you're calling your energy back from people who never truly saw you. And that has a lot to do with not seeing yourself. We tend to entertain things um, that we don't need to entertain because we're not seeing something within ourselves. So the light is returning with the solstice, not just to the sky, but to you. All right. So some of you all may have really felt off. Some of you may have really felt, in alignment. I mean, there's so many ways that the solstice could have affected each individual soul. I would love to hear in the comments what you experienced during the solstice. But now that we're after the solstice, and now, right? Question mark. You're not who you were. You're not meant to move the same. You're not meant to love the same or hide the same. Yeah, so this is letting me know when I was channeling this message, it's like some of you all are realizing that you've been hiding. You've been hiding from your gifts, which has held you back and made you feel like different things in your life have been blocked because you have not been able to see opportunities that are in alignment with your highest self. So this message is a mirror, it's not a map. Okay. Trust what activates you. Trust what activates you. Leave what dulls your spirit. Let that go. You'll know what dulls your spirit because it doesn't energize you. You're not behind, you're right on divine timing. So that is the message that I channeled. And so I definitely want to get in to this message a little bit more. Right. All right. So I'm going to pull from this oracle called the Realist Oracle. See what else comes out. So far, we have Mami Wata, which is naked, number 30. And then we have Tanit, which is pleasure, number 11. And I'll show those cards to you one more time. Okay. All right. So we're going to see what comes out of the Realist Oracle deck. All right. Automatically, I'm seeing abundance and deep knowing in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. Actually, really quickly, give me just a second. I want to kind of turn these cards the right way. I'm hearing spirit say to turn these cards the right way. All right, let's get into it. One more shuffle. All right. Good. What other messages do you have for the collective in regards to after the summer solstice? All right. What fail? All right. So we have number 38, ascension tension. Yes. So this is definitely verifying and clarifying the energy of the summer solstice. So some of you all have received more light. If you want, you can follow me on TikTok at what is it? I have a couple of TikToks. The one that I posted some information about the summer solstice is going to be the Speaks 333. The Empress Speaks 333. And it talks about sitting out in the sun. I was recommending for people to sit out in the sun so that you could get those light codes. Some of you all received those light codes and you're experiencing that ascension. You're experiencing your ability to hold more light. And the tension that you may feel at this time is because you are bumping up against and detangling from old programs, old belief systems. So that's sometimes where the tension comes from. Ooh, that got wild. That got really wild. We're not going to take all of that. Spirit, what other messages do you have for the collective regarding after the summer solstice? Okay. Bottom of the deck, in their shoes in reverse, number 37. All right, so we have fill your cup. All right. So some of you all are being called to first off go to the ocean, go to some type of water, especially if you sat out in the sun on the summer solstice and you receive those light codes. I'm hearing you need to go to the water. So as you receive more light, right? As you receive more light codes, you're also washing away the old ways, the old paradigms. And so I'm hearing go to the water, go to the water. The number 17 could be significant. And then we also have release ritual in the reverse, number 43. All right. I'm gonna get a little more clarity on that. I feel like that has to do with relationships, is what I'm hearing. Release ritual in the reverse having to do with relationships. And then we have awakened. Yeah. So just like the ascension tension, I feel like these cards are kind of what and what with each other. There is a there is a heightening of understanding of deep knowing. Like I said in the channel message a minute ago, there's just things that you now know that you cannot unknow. The illusion, the veil is very, very thin. First off, the veil is very thin in the month of June. Second of all, the veil was extremely thin yesterday for the summer solstice. And as we're still riding in that afterglow of the summer solstice, the veil is still very much thin at this time. So there is this energy around elevation, there's an energy around rising up. Some of you all know that you're chosen. Some of you all know that you are frequency holders and you're here to raise the vibration of the planet. I got to get my blanket because sometimes I get chilly. But you're here to raise the vibration of the planet. All right, I want to get some clarity on the release ritual in the reverse. Let's see, clarity. I heard something about relationships. People don't recognize you anymore, or either you're about to walk into a phase in your life where people don't recognize you. You're unrecognizable. You're gonna have to let go of some different relationships and people because the resistance and the dissonance is going to be so prevalent. All right, so let's get some clarity on release ritual in the reverse. I'm pulling from the tarot. Spirit, can you clarify the release ritual in the reverse? You got duality in the reverse. All right. What is duality in the reverse? I'm still getting that confirmation of relationships. I'm hearing like energetic play. Okay, we got the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so with the Eight of Swords coming out in the reverse, this is letting me know that some of you all already know or already have released certain people. And I feel like this may have led up to this, like most recently leading up to this summer solstice energy, or something significant happened within you or within your reality, within your environment, where you came, it was like a come to Jesus moment, or you actually had an encounter with someone and you had to release it. Because the Eight of Swords is letting me know that you're no longer in your head, you're no longer stuck. You realize that you could always get out of whatever situation you're in. It's just a simple, maybe not always so simple, but it's just a decision, right? It's a matter of taking responsibility and accountability for your life. Anything else for this release ritual in reverse and duality in reverse? This, yeah, this could have to do with family. We got the Ten of Disc here, which is the Ten of Pentacles. This could definitely have to do with family. So some of you may have had a run-in, or you're realizing you had a run-in with family member, or you're realizing that you have to release some family members or a family member. I also feel like this plays a lot on your legacy too. What you're willing to let go of to make more space for what it is that you say you want. You got the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I'm hearing that the more you let go of, you're going to be offered something. Like if the more space you make, the more you can carry, right? The more light you can hold. But you have to let go of something in order to have this offering come in from the divine. Like, I feel like this reminds me something of like a shooting star, even though it looks like a meteor in this picture. But it's like whatever you've wished for, whatever you've desired, whatever you've written down, whatever you're trying to manifest, the divine is asking you to make space for that. Release ritual in the reverse. All right. Any other messages for the collective? You got judgment and you have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. The judgment came out and then the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, it definitely feels like you had some type of come to Jesus moment. It does feel like you may feel lonely at this time because either you have or you're being called to release what's been familiar for so long. And it's really, I'm picking up strongly something with relationships. And I feel like with this Ace of Swords here in reverse, it's because they don't see you for who you are. It's like in the channeled message that I said. It says, Let's see, you're calling back your energy from people who never truly saw you. So, yeah, they never truly saw you. That's why the Ace of Swords is here in the reverse. They never saw your truth. They never saw your truth. And this Judgment card has so much going on. I also feel like because the duality card came out as well, and now I'm seeing the Judgment, there is like, okay, so like I was saying earlier, when it comes to the ascension tension, and I was talking about old paradigms, old belief systems. There's also in that your old selves, right? So there's a separation, and it's like wrong and right, right? It's like a up and down. So I feel like some of the tension that you also could be feeling has a lot to do with you, like your higher self and your old self. They are, it's like at a tug of war. So if you're feeling the tension, that tug inside of you, like maybe you don't feel very clear, you don't know which way to go next. That tug of war, that feeling is your higher self and your old self going back and forth. And the ego is really trying to hold on to what it's always, first what it was taught and what it's been navigating off of for so long. You have to realize the ego only knows what it's taught. Anything else for Judgment, and yeah, the higher font in the reverse. Why is the higher font here in the reverse? Spirit. Why is the higher font here in the reverse? The magician in the reverse. Yeah, so there's a stuck energy. I feel like I'm speaking to someone that's a teacher. I'm speaking to someone that is being initiated right now for a higher purpose, for a higher calling, to lead others, to hold a higher frequency. And so I feel like that's what I'm channeling right now is that tug of war, that tension that you're feeling is your old self trying to hang on because you got the Hierophant here in the reverse and you got the Magician in the reverse. You got the Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, see, it feels like you're tired of competition. I feel like somebody realized during the summer solstice, like competition, like you can't compete, like you can't be competed with, and you are not here to compete with anyone else. Somebody really had a deep moment yesterday and was cracked open to remember more of themselves. And in that remembrance, it's like, oh, wow, maybe you have felt like you needed to compete, or maybe you were told that you need to compete. And there was a realization, a moment of clarity that, oh, I am who I am. Nobody can be me. And there's nothing to compete with here. There's no competition. And I feel like there's been a lot of action, a lot of footwork. There's been a lot of masculine energy when it see, masculine energy is competitive. And I feel like somebody is cultivating their masculine energy, but also realizing that they can tap into the feminine as well. You got the Fool here in the reverse. What's the Fool in the reverse? You got the Five of Discs and the Six of Wands. So I feel like the Six of Wands is telling me here that you will soon be celebrated. You will soon be celebrated. Um, right now is not the time. With the Fool in the reverse, right now is not the time. Right now is not the time I'm feeling to make any type of financial investments, because then you also have the Five of Pentacles. So I'm also hearing that there could have been some type of financial burden as well, some type of financial loss that happened from you being in this kind of unhealthy, toxic, masculine energy with the Five of Wands and the Ace of Wands here. But I feel like there's going to be something to celebrate soon because you got the Six of Wands. What is the Six of Wands? It feels like the Fool in the reverse and the Five of Discs. It feels like it's past tense energy. Like it doesn't feel like a warning. It feels like it's a part of why you've had this revelation. You got the Page of Wands. Someone has been through, yeah. So the Page of Wands in the reverse. Someone took some type of action, like they felt inspired, they leaped, and I feel like because you weren't navigating from your highest self, right? Because then we come back to the Judgment card. You were navigating possibly from your lower self. Um, there was some misaligned action taken. And that's why the Five of Pentacles is showing up. Yeah, there wasn't much success that came out of it there because the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse is here. So there wasn't much success that came out of this. But like I said, this feels like past energy. And I feel like whatever's coming is you're going to be celebrated. I just want to get a little bit more clarity. What's the Six of Wands, Spirit? What is the collective? What can the collective look forward to? What can the collective look forward to? You got the Two of Discs. Okay, so you got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is telling me what you can look forward to is you're not going to have to juggle anymore, right? You're going to get the clarity you need and you're not going to have to juggle. Because if you look at this up, the right side up, he's juggling. He's trying to balance and it's ongoing because you see the infinity, right? You got the eight. So it's ongoing. I feel like you're not going to have to do that. You're not going to have to be in this energy of constantly tracking uphill. And I feel like the reason that you're coming to this point is because you've been in that very forceful energy for so long. And now you're at the top of the hill, gaining clarity, receiving the light codes, holding, embodying more life. And now it's just easy sailing from here. Not that you won't have challenges or any type of hardships, but challenges and hardships, they happen whether you're in alignment or out of alignment, but they're easier, not easier, what's the word? Challenges when you're in alignment, they just have a different energetic makeup to them, 30-30 on the clock. So their threes keep showing up. And then Mama Wata was 32. So yeah, that could be significant. Yeah, I feel like you're done doing life the hard way is really what I'm trying to say here. Spirit is saying you're done doing life the hard way. Yes, fairness, justice just came out. You are moving into a state of being balanced. Ashe, thank you, Spirit. All right. You are moving into a space of being balanced. So that's what the Six of Wands is here for. You don't have to balance, you don't have to juggle anymore. It's going to be balanced, right? It's going to be balanced. The scale, where's the scale? Is there a scale on this card? Yeah, the scale's right here. See how that's balanced versus going back and forth? You have the Empress in the reverse. What is the Empress in the reverse here for? So I feel like this fill your own cup. Remember that came out earlier? And now you have the Empress in the reverse. So I feel like you are now getting clarity on not having any guilt when it comes to taking care of yourself first. You have to nurture you first. Like you can have other things and people that are important to you, right? Don't get me wrong. Like that's a part of this experience, but you have to make sure you're good. And the Empress in the reverse is stating that at some point in time you didn't, or you're in the energy now of not nurturing and taking care of yourself. And that's why at the beginning of the reading, it's saying, fill your cup. So that could be some of the clarity that you received in the summer solstice. And now that we're after the summer solstice, it's now time for you to integrate that. It's now time for you to start to tighten the weaving of this new reality for yourself. Any other information on the Empress in the reverse? You got the Tower. Yes, something fell apart. There was no solid ground. Something fell apart. Maybe your health. You may have had some type of a health scare. You may have maybe a family broke up, maybe a divorce happened, a breakup happened. But yeah, something fell apart. And now you're realizing that you do have to fill your cup because ain't nobody, first of all, ain't nobody gonna create your life for you. Okay. I don't care if you have a partner. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're single. I don't care if you have all the money in the world or you don't. Nobody is going to create the life and the experience that you want to have for yourself other than you. So, with that said, that means that you've got to make sure you're good. Take your breaks when you need to take your breaks. Say no when you need to say no. And do it until you don't feel bad about it no more. Yep. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The Strength card. Yeah, it's going to make you stronger when you pour back into you. Not only are you going to be physically more stronger, you're going to be internally and spiritually more stronger. You're going to be less afraid when you are more energized, activated, in purpose, in alignment on your mission, holding your frequency. What is the King of Cups in the reverse here? King of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so okay, so you got these two very masculine cards that are coming out in the reverse. So like I said earlier, there was something about a toxic masculine type of energy that you've been navigating through, and it has made you tired. It's a very forceful, unemotionally intelligent, unrighteous type of energy. And I'm not throwing no shade at anybody, but if this resonates, it resonates. Like if you've been forcing things to happen in your life and everything just seems hard, but you just keep pushing and forcing instead of aligning with your desires, with the things that you're calling in. That's why this type of energy is coming out. Two masculine cards in the reverse. Knight of Wands in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse, and Woo Wee in the reverse. I do feel like you're now open with the Four of Cups here in the reverse. I feel like you are now open to what the divine has always tried to offer you: ease, alignment, purpose. Knight of Wands in the reverse is letting me know that you are opting out of taking action out of fear, out of scarcity, out of lack. You've awakened. And the woo wee is that's the energy that the divine is asking you to embody in this in between time. This is the androgyny of yourself. This is the neutrality of yourself. And the divine is asking you to just kind of detach from from everything for a moment, right? So that you can really navigate this tension a little bit better. The tension happens when you're too attached to one thing or another. If you can move into more of a neutral space as you receive more and more downloads, clarity after this summer solstice, you'll be able to turn, you'll be able to turn this card, your energy will shift and it'll be easier to hold this energy. And this is also the energy that will help you move into your feminine so that you can be more receptive to receive what the divine has been trying to offer you all this time. All right. So I'm going to do a closeout message and then I'm going to move over. I think I'm going to go over to TikTok, I think. Let me see what comes out of this day. I just saw manifesting, Gemini, healing, medicinal grounding, herbs, sunlight. Get out in the sun. It may not be the summer solstice anymore and the light is waning, but that doesn't mean that it's disappearing. It just means that it's time for a deeper integration of what you've received already. Oh, it came out again. And that says medicinal, grounding, healing, sunlight, and herbs. So you may need to make you some tea, work with herbs, get you some fresh herbs and cook with it. For those that are having any type of medical issues, um, not a doctor, but this, could be helping you kind of lean your way into healing yourself through herbs. And the sunlight is healing. The sun is actually the best disinfectant. Get some body work. 1 week could be significant. I believe 1 week would be roughly around the 30th, give or take a few days. In 1 week, you could feel maybe more clear. If you continue to, dedicate yourself to this work, you will definitely have integrated more of these light codes and this information in 1 week. Pisces, that's a very light kind of energy. While you're in this, I feel like a kind of a period of rest and integration, the divine could be calling you to maybe dream a little bit more. Some of you all could be having more vivid dreams. Protect your energy, protect light. Yeah, protective light. Cleanse your aura. Yep. That has a lot to do with releasing certain things and people and take a risk. Give me more clarity on take a risk. This could simply just be like do something you never done before. Like maybe that is take a break. Maybe somebody is having a hard time taking a break. Summer, this card is right on time. We're talking about the energy after the summer solstice. And it says Leo, you could be a Leo. Sun, activities, action, masculine. It could be time for you to get outdoors, do something outdoors. I just heard like go do some foraging. See if you can find a foraging class or do some foraging on your own. There's a lot that the planet has to give back to you at this time, especially if you tap into this healing energy of the herbs and medicinal use, grounding. Be outside with no shoes on, ground yourself in the grass and the dirt. Fall, fall could be significant. Someone could have just had a bad fall, and maybe that is, if we go back to what I said earlier with the Empress in the reverse and fill your own cup, that could have been the eye opener for you. You've had some kind of a fall or injured yourself, and you realize that you haven't really been taking care of yourself, and that a divine is asking you to start filling your own cup. That could really have a lot to do with a mother. If you're a mother, sometimes mothers tend to put themselves last. October, Leo, eat more fruits and vegetables. One more. Take your time. No rush. It's a journey. Slow down. Patience. All right. I'm going to close out with a manifesto or the motivation manifesto deck. Good. What closeout message do you have for the collective? All right. So it says the joyous masters know that amid all the chaos and conflict, all the hurry and wickedness of the world, there is something solid within that is beautiful and steady and good. Wow. The joyous masters know that amid all the chaos and conflict, all the hurry and wickedness of the world, there is something solid within that is beautiful and steady and good. All right, collective, that was the message. Thank you for those that take the time to tap into this energy. I hope something in here resonates and that you can get a message out of here for yourself to carry you along on your journey. And until next time, I send you peace, light, love, and so much alignment on your journey.